my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make a boxy crop top, and for that I'm going to be using this fabric here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to check my bust measurement divided by 4. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 42 divided by 4, so that's going to be 10.5. So first you're going to fold your fabric into 2 this way, and then you're going to measure out to be sure that the bust measurement can fit in. So the 10.5 can fit in here. So your bust measurement, you're going to add extra 1 inch to it. So that's for your seam allowance, and then if you want, you can add extra half an inch to it for like ease, because it's going to be a boxy top. So that's going to be total of 1.5. So 1.5 added to the 10.5, so that's going to be 12 inches on the dot, and it fits in here. So what you're going to check next is the length of the top you're working with. So the length I want to work with is about, so I want the top to be 17 inches length. So I'm going to add extra 1.5 to it, 1 inch for my seam allowance and half an inch for ease. So that's going to be 18.5. So I'm going to mark that here. So this part here is going to be the shoulder. So I'm working with 18.5 now. So whatever length you want to work with, add extra 1.5 to it. Whatever width you're working with, add 1 inch to it for seam allowance, and then extra half an inch for your ease. So you go back up to the shoulder. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 divided by 2. That's going to be 8. So I'm going to mark that here. Come down just like the way you would normally do for your basic bodies. So come down here. Armhole. So the armhole I'm working with is 20 divided by 2. So that's going to be 10. So I'm going to mark that here. Come down on this line by 1 inch. That's for your shoulder slant. Come here for your neckline, mark 3 inches by 3. I'm going to make it 3 inches by 3.5. That's 3.5 for length, 3 inches for width. So I'm going to mark 3.5 here and then mark it down this way. So what you're going to do to get the perfect curve here, you can just curve it this way if you want, but if you want it to be perfect, what you can do is just find the center of this 3.5. So it's going to be somewhere between 1.75. Mark it here, and then mark half of your 3 inches here. That's going to be around 1.5, and then you're going to connect these 2 curves together. So that's how you get a perfect curve for this neckline. Because normally when you mark a line like this, you just curve it yourself. But if you want it to be perfect, just find the center of this line here, find the center of this line here, and then just join the 2 of them together. That way you get the perfect curve. So the next thing you're going to do is to connect your shoulder slant. So from this point here, you're going to connect it to this 1 inch that you came down by, and then you're going to also curve your armhole. So guys, the next thing you're going to do, so remember the bust measurement, you're going to add a 1.5 to it. So divide your bust measurement, add 1.5. So that's what I have here. So for the waistline, this is going to be your waistline. If you want it to be just straight boxy, then you can just use the same thing here. Just go straight and mark it down, like straight line down here, right? But if you want it just a little bit curved in, then what you can do is that half an inch that you added for ease here, you can subtract it when you come down here, right? So instead of, what you're going to do is the same bust measurement that you're using here is what you're using here, but you're just going to, I'm still going to show you guys how to make the fitted one where you add that and everything. But for this one here, it's just the boxy one. So what you're going to do, the same thing you're using as the bust is what you're using for the waist. But if you want it just a little bit curved in, subtract that half an inch of ease here and then connect it here. It won't make any difference, that much difference. So I'm going to connect it here. So what I'm going to do now is to curve it, like cut this out. So guys, I folded the fabric again, place the front one that I cut out on it. So you're going to add about 1.5 here to for your zip allowance, or you can use 1 inch if you want. So the distance between this front and the back is what I marked here. So what I'm going to do now is to trace this out again. So guys, I've cut it out. So what I'm going to do now is to split open the back panel, this zip allowance, because the fabric is folded. So I'm going to split this open. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to come down by 1 inch here on the same neckline, connect it from here. So this is going to be my back neckline. Connect it this way. So I'm going to cut this out here. After cutting it out now, I'm going to separate it. So the back is done. I'll continue with the front panel. So now I'm going to trace out my front neckline. So I've cut out the front neckline. And then the next thing you're going to do for the front is to find the center of this, the center from this top here to the point, this mark here on your armhole. So for me, that's going to be about 4.5. So I'm going to mark it here. Mine is 9 inches. So half of 9 inches is about 4.5. And then what you're going to do is on this 4.5, coming by about half an inch and mark it here. And then you're going to curve it. If you have a curved ruler, that's even better. So you're going to curve it and trace, and then trace this out. You're not going to do this on your on the back panel. So I'm done now. I'm going to set it aside and cut out my sleeve. So guys, I've cut out this piece here, this rectangular piece. So what the width here is just my sleeve width. Sorry, my armhole. So my armhole is 20. So that's what I have here for the width. So when I fold it into 2, I'm going to have 10. So guys, I have 2 pieces of it here, 1 piece and then the second piece. So if I fold it into 2, you have 4 ends out here. So this is the folded part. So I'm just going to cut my sleeve. I'm going to come down by about 4 inches here for my sleeve cap, and then I'm going to mark my sleeve. I already have a video on how to cut your sleeve, so I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to use, because this fabric has 2 colors, so I want to use this here to make like a turn up sleeve at the end. So like I want to use this color here for the end of the sleeve. So yeah. So guys, now that I've traced it out, I'm going to notch the end here. So the for the length, whatever length you want to use, just add 1.5 to it. Half an inch for the top part and then 1 inch for folding the bottom part. But for me, right now I have about 8 inches, and then I'm going to add extra 2 inches to it with this this color here for the band of the sleeve. But if you're using just a plain fabric, then you can just fold it on itself with the 1 inch that you added. But I'm going to be using this just to give it a little color on the sleeve also. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to go to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to join the shoulder, join the 2 shoulder, and then after that I'm going to put in the sleeve. So basically you open it up this way. This is the 2 back panel. You're not going to be adding that, or you're not going to be adding that to it. So you just, this is my 2 back panel, this is the right side here. So you're going to take your front panel here, place it on this, sew the sleeve, sew the top part of the sleeve, and then sew the other part of this sleeve, and then sew up the top part of your shoulder, the 2 shoulders, and then put in your sleeve and close it up. And folded the bottom. So guys, I've gone ahead and attached the sleeve. This is what I was saying. I wanted to put a different color at the end of the sleeve to match up with the end here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to put this zip. I've also folded the end. So you put your sleeve, you just close up the end. So if your zip is too long, what you can do is just open it up this way. You see that 1.5 I folded is here. So you're going to take this way, open it this way, and then you're going to go ahead and just sew down one side of the zip. If your zip is too long, then you cut off the excess, and then come to this end, put the second one, and then when you're done putting the second one, you come to the end here, and then just folding this into the rough end here, fold it here and close it up. So that's how you're going to put the zip. But for me, my zip is exactly the same length as this top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close it up like you would normally do to put in a normal zip. I'll close it up and then put in my zip. So guys, I closed up about 2 inches down here. So what I'm going to do now is also fold it in the way I folded the other side. Like fold it in here, and then the other space remaining is where I'll put in my zip. The remaining opening here is where my zip will come in. But you see, I came in 2 inches here to close it up, so my zip will fit in here now. So guys, I've gone ahead and put the zip. I also use bias to finish up the neckline, and yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is the back. You see, my zip started right at the bottom here. If you open it up, you can be able to wear it. So I'll show you guys another one later. I'll make a video to show you guys how to make the one that is fitted at the bottom. To make that one, your zip will be facing downwards. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Bye.